Joseph here, and it's deck profile time. I wanted to have a deck profile up before Nationals, and I was debating if it was going to be this or PayPay, and I chose this purely over PayPay because my PayPay deck is constantly changing, and I'm having some really hard times with a proper build or with a build that I would say in terms of its playability, because there's so many different versions of it, and I have so much stuff for it. So I'm going to do my deck profile for Harpies, post Nats, and that's pretty much because I know the balance, because we know the balance is supposed to come out soon, a little before Worlds, and most likely after Nats, or possibly during Nats. So I wanted to make sure I at least had one deck up before that happened. So let's get the deck profile started. I want to start off with the monster lineup. Triple Harpie Chandler. She's pretty much your main engine with the Harpies, because she can pitch your Harpie card from your hand and search summon a Harpie from your deck. If you're running the Harpie's pet dragon, of course her level will change to 7 because you control a dragon, and you go into monsters like Master Blades, Draco Sack, Big Eye, or Red Ice Metal. Following up with her is Triple Harpie Dancer. Some people run two, and that's only per preference. If you want to run two Harpie Dancer, because a lot of people don't want to use up their back row, or have to be forced into blowing up their back row, which is why Harpie Dancer and Harpie Hunting Ground tend to get the reduced amount, only because a lot of the times in the format, most decks aren't playing massive spells or massive traps, and you're going to force them to, of course, with anti-spell fragrance, if you main anti-spell. But I do like the additional name, and then, of course, an additional pitch for Harpie Chandler. And I love her ability because you can abuse it with Harpie's Hunting Ground or Divine Wind. Next is Harpie Harpist. This is pretty much Harpie Lady's version of Scarm, or any Winged Beast deck's version of Scarm. When she's during the end phase, when she was sent to graveyard while she's still in there, you can search your deck for level 4 Winged Beast that has 15 or less attack. Another thing I like about her, of course, she is a 17 body. So alongside Cyber Harpie and Harpie Queen, she's just another monster to swing and poke your opponents with. Next is Harpie Queen, pretty much our field spell searcher in our 19 body. For my Harpie ladies, I'm running 2 Cyber Harpie for my 18 body, and I'm running 1 Harpie 1. A lot of people prefer to not run Cyber Harpie and just run Harpie 1 because she'll just make everybody on the board a heavy body, and then Cyber Harpie, for my opinion, is just really good because in case you can't get into your queen, you at least have a beater, and she's an accessible beater because you have Elite Egotist to bring her out. And then for my last monster, of course, is Zephyros the Elite. Some people prefer not to play Zephy. I like Zephy only because of the fact Zephy can bounce back deck cards and make them useful again, or you can bounce back on monster or your field spell so that it doesn't you can bounce back your field spell so that it doesn't have a negative interaction when you want to play another Harvey monster and your opponent has no back row. Alright, so that is my monster lineup. For my spells, my spells are pretty much self-explanatory until I get to my one-ups. So it's pretty much triple hysteric party. Triple hysteric sign. It's very much one of the most broken Harpie spells in the game, next to Feather Duster, because this card pretty much allows you to search for your pieces. Then, of course, on top of that, when it's activated, you can add Elegant Egotist from your deck or graveyard, so you don't have to, play a whole bunch of massive spell cards to draw into cards. You can easily start searching for them if you can pop it. And of course, you can pop this if you set it, or if, say you've already searched for your Egotist on your first turn, you can just pop this their next turn or in a response play with Hysteric Party and Harpie's Hunting Ground. Next is Triple Harpie's Hunting Ground, speaking of which, because this is one of my favorite field spells because it turns all your Harpies into pretty much walking MS teams. Give all Winged Beasts 200 additional attacks, so even if you go into your extra deck Winged Beast will have some additional attack power. Or your non-Harpies will have additional attack power as well. And of course, you can just blow up spells and traps when whoever normal summons or special summons a Harpie lady. The conductor of the summon chooses what spells or traps on the field they want to blow up. when they summon a Harpie lady. But you do have to be careful because you can blow this up if there aren't any other spells or traps on your opponent's side of the field. And if you don't have a sign that you want to blow up. Next, one LE Aegis, because I'm only running the 2 Cybers and the 1 Harpie Lady 1. I mean, if I was running my old version, which was the Harpie Sister build, I'd be running 2 only because I want to search through the deck, pop enough cells and traps. And with Harpie Sisters, of course, they're the 1950 body. And they work really well into pressuring your opponent to really have to deal with them because of their high defense. 1 Divine Wind of Mist Valley to work with Harpie Dancer. This is pretty much just to flush out your decks because I made tons of Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragons literally off of this. Like, because I run 2 in most versions when I play Divine Wind, and that's in case I don't, the first one runs out of material or is about to run out. With Divine Wind, I can pretty much hit the board heavily and then make another Phantasmal and then pretty much go off there for game. 1 Raigeki, 1 Dark Hole. This is pretty much monster removal. The 1 Instant Fusion, because Noden is an awesome monster to go into. And also, you can run, if you have the room, you can swap out some cards, put in another one, and you can run Marvelous, which is a level 4 Winged Beast. No effect, but it's a Winged Beast, and you can just abuse it with the going to Harpie's Pet Phantasmal, or just going into any wind attributed Exceed monster if you choose to. And then 1 Symbols of Heritage. This was a really good card back in the day because you can pick up monsters with the same name. So with Harpie Ladies, you can do that easily. Now that we got like 15 of them. Alright, so that's pretty much my spell lineup. For my traps, which I took into a lot of consideration because of the current format, I'm rocking the Triple Hysteric Party because this is pretty much the most broken card in Harpies. Pitching card from your hand, so summon as many Harpie Ladies from your graveyard to your field as possible. This works really well with you pitch your Harpist, you pitch your Hysteric Sign, you can pitch a Harpie, bring all your Harpies to the board, have you some 19 bodies, have you some 18 bodies. Harpie 1, of course, will make them past 2,000 or up to 2,000. Hunting Ground, so you can pop some scales when they start setting up scales. So this is just really awesome card. Next is 2 Breakthrough Skill. Just in case you have to do with floaters or like those really annoying plays with Ignister. This doesn't work with Cosmo because the big ships can't be targeted, but you can lure out a big ship and then deal with it really easily with some defensive spells and traps, especially the battle traps. Speaking of battle traps, I'm rocking the 2 Mirror Force because this is a really good card. If you don't have Storming Mirror Force or Drowning Mirror Force, I would advise going into regular Mirror Force because you can bait out with the Breakthrough Skill, flip the mirror when they swing at you, and then it'll pop their big ships, and you'll probably make them end up wasting a lot of their pilots, so that way you can easily take those out. I'm still rocking the anti-spell because it's really good. 1, against Pepe. 2, against really heavy spell decks. 3, you can easily side this out in bad matchups so that you can go into really good spells and traps that you would need for your deck. I do side in Spoil Ring because I'm not going to go into my side deck, but I use a card called Imperial Customs, which pretty much protects continuous spells. Continuous traps, and if they have to destroy the customs in order to destroy this, in order to destroy your continuous traps. So it's a really good defensive card if you want this to be as defensively active as possible. And then for my 1-ups, 1 Vanities, because it's Vanities, 1 Warning, and I'm running 1 Torrential. This is pretty much my trap lineup in case I have to do it heavy back row and I don't have Solemn Strikes, because those are just too expensive. So that's pretty much the main deck. Let's go into the extra. The extra deck is pretty much one of really constructed, and I wanted to make sure it was really constructed before I got into building another version of Harpies. So rocking Triple Chidori, pretty much because you can spam the hell out of these with Harpies. They work so good with the Harpie setup. Really good at, with anti-spell fragrance as well as Castell. If you don't like Triple Chidori, I would probably say advice 2 Chidori, 2 Castell, if that's how you feel comfortable playing, or if you just don't want to take, was it? If you don't want to run, the triple, it's fine. But I like to run the triple. So I'm running double Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon because of the Divine Wind. I can easily go into these guys, and then of course, its abilities are just sick. It's defends your Harpies from being targeted by spells, traps, monster effects. Your opponent can target them for battle, and then it can attack directly. It does that all because it has a material. It is a little hard to get because it has 3 material and it has to be wind. So Zephyros is not an option to be played with when you're making Phantasmal, but it's okay because pretty much you can start distracting your opponent, and then you can have your little guys do the little damage that's needed to finish them off, or cowboy, if all out fails. You do have to detach during each of your end phases for a Phantasmal Dragon, so that's why I rock the second one, just in case with the Harpie Dancer combo I can make at least 2 of these. One Digestal Emerald, just to pretty much refill the deck if I lose all my Harpies or Chandlers, they're all in grave. One Castell, one ISP Zeraphon, she's pretty much the walking skill drain. She can negate, of course, well, let me explain that. She can negate your opponent's spells, all your face-up cards, all face-up cards your opponent controls. She gains 300 attack for each card face-up on the board. Of course, she's a winged beast, so she doesn't gain the effects from Harpie's Hunting Ground. She's just a really good monster to go into. For winged beast stacks. Of course, the one cowboy, the one dweller, one Korogorgon, because he can redirect stuff, so you can protect your hunting ground, protect your sign, or force a blow up of your sign, and protect your anti-spell. One Heartland Drago, because I run of course, the field spells, the sign, so it synchronizes well with Heartland Drago. Of course, my one-ofs of Silent Honor and Giant Hand, and then the instant fusion target, of course, the one Elder Entity noted. Alright guys, that's pretty much the deck profile in a nutshell. Do stay tuned for more. Follow me on Animo, or Animeo. I'm sorry, I can't really pronounce what that website is, but it's a little app for Yu-Gi-Oh community. We share ideas and stuff. I probably have a link to that either in the description, or I'll probably have it on the Facebook page. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, you guys, this is the Extreme signing out. Take care.